Howdy fellas, Frankie Day back again on YouTube. Today on YouTube I have another collection of the builds of my past. This time this is a 1/48 scale plastic kit by Hasegawa of the Type 97 Kate, Torpedo Bomber or High Altitude Bomber. I've had this kit for about, good gravy, 11, 12 years, somewhere around the neighborhood. And this is a high level version. Hasegawa produces two 1/48 scale kits of this aircraft. One is a torpedo bomber, and the other one is a high-level bomber. This aircraft right here was lead aircraft in Pearl Harbor. This is Mitsu Fajita's lead aircraft that was done that used in the attack of Pearl Harbor. It came from the aircraft carrier Akagi. It has the aircraft carrier color code markings on the tail sections, all red with an off yellow color code stripes and identification stripes, showing what air group, what carrier group, and also the aircraft carrier itself. The Type 97 Torpedo Bomber was a very good aircraft. Nakajima was the aircraft company that made this airplane. This aircraft came to service in 1936. And actually, it was designed for as a dive bomber. Well, the Japanese found it wasn't practical use as a dive bomber because of the size of the aircraft. It was well suited as a high level bomber or a torpedo bomber. And so this aircraft here was modeled as the high level bomber. This aircraft was involved in the destruction of the USS Arizona. The airplane of this type was a high-level bomber carrying a 765-kilogram bomb, which was made from a 15-inch shell from off the old battleship Nagato. All the bombs that were used during the attack of Pearl Harbor using this type of aircraft came off the battleship Nagato. The battleship Nagato was Admiral Seiryu Yamato's flagship and platform for the planning of Pearl Harbor. And although that battleship has never seen service, it was anchored in Tokyo Bay throughout the war. Excuse me, folks. And so anyway, this aircraft right here in general is the lead aircraft used in the attack of Pearl Harbor. And it's a very beautiful kit, guys. And any builder should have no problem. The minimum, the fit, it had no fit issues on this kit. This is a high-dollar kit. I think I paid $50 back then. I couldn't imagine how much they are now. You'd probably be pushing over probably about $90 now. The kit comes with no pilot figures at all. I was hoping they had some pilot figures I could put in there. I'm like Penzville. I like my pilots. But this kit don't give you no pilots, so it's built without them. And the canopy comes in all kinds of sections right here. I believe it comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections. The canopy is optional. The canopy can be either in open position and or closed position. There's the sections right there, as I point out with the stick, that makes up the cockpit. The canopy itself, cockpit detail itself, is very highly detailed. The flaps are optional, either up or down positions. I elected to put it in the landing position, lowered. The only feature of this aircraft is the prop that turns. And the overall paint scheme of this aircraft is all Japanese navy green, using Model Master brand paints that matches the Federal Standard Color Chip Code. Pretty close right on. The carrier group identification got colors around the tail, which were a red color. I got my dummy helper. I'll flip around the back so you can see the back side of it. And we'll go through a review of the back side of the Kate. The other side was not gray or white, fellas. It was all natural aluminum. It was varnish. It was treated varnish aluminum they used. I think Goodwells wouldn't use a Japanese interior blue color. It was all aluminum as that of the wings. As you notice on a 765 kilogram bomb, it's off-centered from the center line of the fuselage. It was done on purpose because in the middle of the fuselage you get two bomb aimer windows. So you had a pilot, and you had three men in this aircraft. You had a gunner, a radio officer, and you had your bomb aimer pilot, and you had your pilot. And as we turn around the backside, you can see those rectangular windows right there in the center line of the wing of the fuselage, fellas. There's a gun sight that looks shaped like an L, a bomb sight shaped like an L. They peer through the gun sight, and they can see the center of the bomb sight where they can drop the bomb. Somehow I don't know how they can make accurate bomb drops with a bomb that's off center for the fuselage, but I imagine they compensate that by using a wind drift indicator on the bomb aimer's window. Okay, got rid of the dummy helper, put her back on her legs. And we'll take a spin around a little bit. We'll take a look at it some more. There's no washers on this kit. Wing walks were used by 220 grit wet and dry sandpaper, which comes in black. There's my good-looking mug again. Give you guys a stamp of approval. Hope you guys are happy. Boy, I gotta quit puffing on cigars. My wife says, Frank, I bet your lungs look like a couple of saddlebags. Well, I don't inhale, so I enjoy my cigars. And then we'll spin around again, guys, and that'll be that on my kit. And this is a good kit. It's still in production. We'll take one more last zoom in. And the novice or the average builder should have no problem at all building this kit. It builds real good. No fit issues at all. Very minimal filler that's needed on it. The aircraft goes together very, very well. It's a very, very decent kit. It's a high dollar and expensive, but excuse me, fellas, when you're dealing with the Asian brothers, you're going to pay the cost. So I got my $50 worth out of this thing, and we'll catch you boys later. I'll wave bye-bye to you, and we'll close off my vid. I'd like to thank everybody out there in YouTube land for looking at my builds, and thank you for tuning in. And right now we'll try to get this YouTube thing squared away. This Google thing's got us all spinning, boys. So there's a way, there's a will. Cohen's got a good idea, so eventually I can work on that and get my Google done. And next video I'll get my Bolo update going. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. May God bless. We'll catch you on the next YouTube presentation. Stay focused. More builds to pass coming up. Bye, boys.